2 days ago, we just celebrated Easter, and we in the South we were very happy. But we don't know what our co Christians in the North go through as Christians. I'd like us to take our time to listen to Bishop Matthew Hassan Kukah, if I could say anything.
Okay, two questions. Deborah was killed. Till date, where are we as regards justice for Deborah? And secondly, on the 18th of December, 38 people in southern Kaduna were killed. How does all of this make you feel?
I'm actually sitting here in the cathedral because I have mass for children, in another hour or less. If you look out of the window here, I cannot show you. You will see the glasses of our cathedral that were, of our hall that were broken. You will see the vehicles that were destroyed. Our pastoral center was destroyed. And one of our churches was destroyed. For what? We didn't quarrel with anybody. We didn't say anything to anybody. You have a situation where in northern Nigeria, across northern Nigeria, you have a reservoir of young people who simply at the slightest provocation, whether if it concerns Islam or whatever, whether it has got anything to do with the church, the question Nigerians should ask themselves, what have Christians done that our churches, our properties, our hospitals, which are serving the majority of Muslims, have become objects of target practice? For example, what did the trial of Deborah have to do? The governor simply announced that these people who did this were going to be tried. How would that provoke young people to go and start destroying the properties of Christians? Because they went to the shop. We have verifiable evidence of young people going out to shop. So this is Okafor's shop. This is a Christian shop. Let's pass this one. It belongs to. These things are done openly. When a president wants to tell me about wishing me a happy Christmas, I need to hear him say, no Christian, nobody in this country can lose their life because somebody stood up somewhere and said he wants to defend, his religion. People have been killed across this country. Christians have remained vulnerable, and in many respects, their infrastructure and their businesses remain, just as I said, objects of target practice. You organize a Miss World contest, churches are bombed across northern Nigeria. You draw cartoons in Denmark, churches are destroyed in northern Nigeria. As I'm talking to you, when the president says he's wishing me a happy Christmas as a Christian, I need to hear the president tell me I can build a church anywhere in Dora if I apply for land. As it is, it's not possible. I need to hear the president say professors who are in universities in northern Nigeria, Christian students who are in universities in northern Nigeria, across the whole of the country, can have places of worship. As I'm talking to you, universities 40, 50 years up till today in most universities in northern Nigeria, the Christian community has no place of worship. So when people stand and look at me in the face and say, we're wishing you a happy Christmas, I need you to walk the talk. So if you ask me, what am I supposed to say? And guess what? I'm supposed to fix my church back. I'm supposed to fix back properties that were destroyed. Businessmen are supposed to find money from where to rebuild their businesses. So, this is the country we are living in. And it is unacceptable. And because we left a lot of these things unattended, what you are seeing, many Christians have lived with it. We've lived with it. So at periods of this nature, I don't want anybody to grandstand and say that we should imitate Jesus Christ or that we should be. We know what it is. I don't need anybody to come. I'm converted to Christianity. But it should be on record in this country that by being a Christian or by being a Muslim, you've not committed an offense. So I feel and I believe and I know the facts are there. They are verifiable. Christians living in northern Nigeria are living in fear. Despite our massive contribution to the economic well-being of the states in which, despite our being law-abiding, but every church you are building, you are living in fear because you don't know what is going to happen. And when these things happen, nobody gets tried. So these are the questions that we need to resolve. Deborah's family, as you know, are no longer living here. They are now living in Rivers State. Okay? Because I'm sitting here as Bishop of Sokoto, my parishioners are moving, they are moving in droves. Everybody is sick and tired. Okay? Everybody is tired. You know, some of my critics, and I wish they were a bit honest with themselves, they say to me, you are dividing our people. I say, well, there is a difference between light and darkness. So yes, I'm not afraid. There's a difference between truth and lies. So yes, I'm dividing because there has to be a separation between, day chases out darkness. The point to make is, I keep saying, okay, can you tell me one single day in which a church was destroyed, or maybe a mosque destroyed, or whatever? Can you imagine the difference it would make if a president, if a governor, if a traditional ruler, bishop, imam, emir, if they went to condole with the Christian community and are able to make those statements very clearly? What is happening to us in Nigeria as Christians, and it didn't start today, but it has started over a long period of time. And indeed, I have argued this is what gave vent to Boko Haram. Can you imagine what it will mean for the president of Nigeria to come to Usman Danfodio, to go to Bayero University and lay the foundation for the building of a church in an environment of that nature? Can you imagine what it will mean to a small Muslim population, whether it's whether it is in Oka, or whether it is anywhere, for a president who is a Christian or governor to go there and oversee the building or the reconstruction of a mosque? These are the symbolic gestures that ordinary people did. But what we have is presidents, governors continue to throw raw meat at the fanatics and the extremists. Because when you say nothing, your silence can be taken as complicity. And this is what is appeasing all this. So somebody goes around, and if you look at the rest of West Africa, or even Africa, Islam, there are 90, maybe 94, 95% of the people in Senegal are Muslims. 96 or 97% of the people in Gambia are Muslims. Why is it that it's only in Nigeria you hear characters talking about jihad? You don't hear anybody talking about jihad anywhere else in the world, except in Nigeria here, where people are still maintaining a mindset that has moved on, and the political elite refuses. They are taking an inspiration from the poor people who don't know much. Okay. So you mesmerize them by building mosques or building churches, as the case may be. You are refusing to give people an education, and then you presented Christianity and Christians as the cause of our problem because it's an alien religion. These people don't understand what the principles of democracy are. For them, democracy, okay, if that's what you want, yes. But at the back of it all, we want a different state altogether. Because you cannot be having these shrill voices in which people are telling you they want to live under Islamic law, they want to live under Christian. We can only have one law, okay, which derives, all the laws that derive from the Constitution. But right now, if we were serious and we have a sense of enforcement, then this young girl would not have been killed in vain and nothing happens. People will not be slaughtered in their sleep and nothing happens. Because when nothing happens, as I said, you are throwing red meat at those who have, and this is where they derive their sense of heroism from. So we need people who have the capacity to understand that, first of all, you must create a line in which common citizenship exists. And that irrespective of where you are, whether you are Christian, Muslim, when people go, when the Muslims who are living in America or living in Europe, do you hear them worry about everybody is subordinated to the Constitution? But in Nigeria here, somebody can kill you and he's saying that it is my religion that has asked me to do so. And when I confront my Muslim friends, they are prepared to whisper about this conversation, but not raise their voices. So for me, those things are possible. After all, Obama would not have come to the surface in America. Ms. Harris would not have emerged as vice president of America today. 8 Nigerians would not have been appointed to the administration of Joe Biden. We wouldn't have the kind of thing we have in England now, where the descendant of immigrants is now prime minister. Unless and until you lay a foundation and punish those who don't want to live under the Constitution, unless you create a bar of common citizenship, would we, for example, I mean, given where we are now, and given what Christians have suffered in Nigeria, if you mentioned my state of Kaduna, but how has Kaduna become the most volatile and the most disrupted state in Nigeria, in parts of northern Nigeria today. Why have so many people died? If having a Muslim governor and a Muslim president were a Muslim governor and a Muslim deputy governor were the issue. So all these people who continue to use religion are making our country more vulnerable. So right now we are living as Christians and Muslims. Yes, but we need a Nigerian president that can tell us how he's going to resolve problems of this nature when they rear themselves up.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time this morning. The Bishop of the Diocese of Sokoto, Catholic Diocese of Sokoto, Bishop.
This is in-depth analysis. You see, the truth is, we can't live in the country where there's two laws. Section 10 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, said the federal government nor the state government should adopt no religion as state religion. We live in a country where we have the Constitution of the federal government and we have the Sharia Constitution. With this, we can never achieve peace and harmony. And that's why we have elements like Boko Haram that also want to establish their own territory and dish out their own constitution for people to follow. Like Bishop Kukah said, you can't find this in Europe or in America. You can't find this kind of behaviors because everybody follows and adheres to one particular constitution. So, and this makes me to ask, and it bothers me so much. Then where is the one Nigeria we always talk about? Is the one Nigeria just about the oil in the south or the gold in the north? Is that only when we preach one Nigeria? Is that only when Nigeria comes in, when one Nigeria comes into play? Only when we have to share the resources, that's when one Nigeria comes into play. No. We can't achieve progress with divided constitution. We can't achieve harmony. We can't achieve peace. We really need to come together to talk about this. We need to have one law for everybody to follow. Thank you very much. If you've not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Happy Easter, guys.